Hello, Southern Tier. Welcome to Off the Record, your weekly fun-sized bar of Delaware County news from The Reporter, the county's finest news source. I'm Andrew Cantor with the latest of what's happened and happening in Delaware County this week. Skeeter, play the intro music. Did you know that podcast listeners can try the online version of The Reporter for free for a month? Now you do. You sign up at the Reporter website, the-reporter.net. Now, an online subscription is $5, but if you use the promo code, you get $5 off. And that promo code is SAVE5. That's all caps, SAVE, and the number 5, to basically get the subscription free. Give it a try. You might want to keep it. Again, the promo code for a free month of the Reporter Online is SAVE5, all caps. And now here's this week's news in Delaware County. The village of Sidney is having a bit of trouble with a whole lot of properties downtown. There are about 130 of them, and they're owned by Delaware County since the 2011 flood, and they're vacant now, which means people are trespassing. One guy was collecting scrap metal on a property, and he had to be chased off by police. The problem is, he's not really trespassing because there are no trespassing signs. So what you've got is 130 vacant properties owned by the county. Each has a landlord, and it can be cited for code violations like junk in the yard, but it can also be infested, or rather they all can be infested with trespassers. The county is paying to maintain them, a guy to cut the grass and shovel snow. The village, though, has to deal with all these vacant properties that no one wants and that cost too much to demolish. So what's to be done? No one knows. There's lots of chin scratching, but that's about it. If you've got an idea that doesn't involve arson, you can call Sidney Mayor Ray Baker, and he's at 607-561-2324, or you can email your idea to questions@villageofsidney.org. And remember, no arson. There's a free rabies clinic coming up on September 12th in Stamford, courtesy of Delaware County Public Health. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Stamford Fire Hall. You can bring dogs, cats, or ferrets, either on a leash or in some kind of carrying case. Please remember that snakes are no longer eligible for rabies shots. Oh, the public health folks felt the need to remind people that owners are responsible for cleaning up after their pets. You know who you are. The Walton Fire District is hoping to replace its 20-year-old fire truck with a much newer one it can purchase from a fire district in Reading, Pennsylvania. The new truck, which is actually gently used, has only 7,000 miles on it. It's got all-wheel drive, tons of space in the cab, and a bunch of other modern features to make it easier for the rescue personnel. Now, the truck will cost Walton $575,000, but that's about half of what a brand new engine would go for. The downside is that for some reason, Walton only allocated $200,000 toward a replacement truck, so the fire department needs to borrow the remaining $375,000. Residents will have a chance to vote on whether the department should do that on October 1st. Remember, everyone, that it is back to school time, so if you're driving, pay extra attention in case some kid darts out in front of you. And if you're a kid walking to school, don't do something dopey like dart into traffic, and do try to use the crosswalks. And everyone should also be on the lookout for crossing guards. You can recognize them because they look like crossing guards. A new thrift store in Hamden just got approval from the planning board. It'll be in the garage of Jason and Cara Pardee. It's called Thrift at the Covered Bridge, and as you might imagine, it's right next to Hamden's Covered Bridge. In sports news, the Sidney Sports Hall of Fame induction weekend will be Friday, September 20th and Saturday the 21st at the Sidney Elks Lodge. Being inducted this year are Gary and Robbie Cole, Tom Graham Jr., Angelo Morabito Johnson, and Kimberly Young. Tickets are $30 a piece, a lot less for kids, and includes a turkey and roast beef buffet dinner, dessert provided by the Bee's Knees. If you want to grab yours, head over to sydneyalumni.org for information. And now we turn to Looking Back, news from The Reporter 100 years ago this week.
100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this week. 100 years ago this we While Robert Palmer of Palmer Hill in Franklin was pouring some gasoline into the carburetor of the engine in his barn Friday morning, the gas in some way caught fire and blazed up to the ceiling. Some of the burning fluid was spilled on the concrete floor. Mr. Palmer managed to carry the pail of gasoline outdoors, and the flames in the engine room were put out without any damage being done. In crime news, Ferris Stevens, better known as Pet, was taken into custody Tuesday by Officer Stid on a charge of public intoxication and was fined $5 by Police Justice J.M. Peake. Meanwhile, someone stole 14 hens from Bert Constable of East Sidney Friday night. Finally, while men were engaged in lowering the wagon house on the farm of Cecil Boudin at Loomis, the building toppled over and was badly smashed.
Returning to 2024, if you pick up a copy of this week's Reporter, you can read about Walton's $500,000 plan to fix its public pool, and check out the letter to the editor asking people to vote yes on Proposition 1. There's plenty more. Remember, to get all the news that matters to you and your Delaware County community, subscribe to The Reporter at the-reporter.net or call 607-464-4009. We'll see you next week.